A security officer in Georgia is assigned to his routine night patrol near a local cemetery. Soon, however, his experiences took a chilling turn, leading him into a series of paranormal events that captivated and unsettled thousands online.
Hey, kid! Kid! I don't know where he went. This kid's running from me. Kid! Holy God. Where went?
His journey, shared through detailed videos, raised questions about the boundary between reality and the unknown. The story began with a seemingly ordinary clip where he recounted strange occurrences inside the cemetery's main building. Mysterious banging on a locked door echoed through the quiet night, but upon investigation he found nothing. His apprehension was palpable, and the video's eerie tone resonated with viewers, who were drawn into the unfolding mystery. Subsequent recordings added to the intrigue. In one particularly disturbing account, the officer encountered a child dressed in old-fashioned clothing wandering among the gravestones. Concerned, he approached, but the figure vanished into thin air. The inexplicable nature of the event left both him and his audience baffled. Who was the child, and how did they disappear so suddenly? In another video, the officer captured a shadowy figure moving silently between headstones. The faint, flickering presence sent shivers down viewers' spines, fueling speculation about ghosts or spirits haunting the grounds. Each clip seemed to add another layer to the mystery, and rational explanations became harder to find. As the nights progressed, the officer's experiences grew more intense. Strange noises echoed whispers, faint cries, and footsteps with no visible source. Lights in the cemetery building flickered erratically. Each incident deepened his sense of unease, and the fear in his voice was unmistakable. Despite his efforts to maintain composure, the unexplained events took a psychological toll. One of the most chilling recordings occurred in broad daylight. The officer felt the presence of something unseen and tried to communicate with it. His attempts were met with an eerie silence, and the encounter's surreal nature was heightened by the bright surroundings, where such phenomena seemed even more out of place. Eventually, the officer reported the incidents to the police, hoping their presence would bring clarity. Yet even law enforcement couldn't explain the occurrences. The mysterious sounds and sightings continued, undeterred by rational investigation. His videos continue to spark debate, blurring the line between the known and unknown and leaving viewers with more questions than answers about what truly lies beyond the grave. During a late-night patrol, a prison officer approached a cell where an inmate had recently passed away. To their astonishment, they found the cell door swinging open, despite there being no apparent draft or disturbance. The cell was empty, and the stillness was palpable. Could it have been the lingering presence of the departed inmate? Was there a ghostly force at play, or was it merely an unexplained anomaly? The next clip comes from Security 98, a creator known for his paranormal investigations. In this video, he's driving down a quiet highway late at night, possibly on his way to another investigation, when he notices a vehicle parked on the shoulder of the road. Concerned that someone might need help, he pulls over and approaches the car, believing he saw someone inside. However, as he reaches the vehicle, it's completely empty, no one is in sight. What Security 98 didn't realize at the time was that his camera had captured something chilling.
Somebody's in the car. swear to God, I saw somebody in the car.
In the footage, a disembodied hand can be seen pressing against the inside of the car window before vanishing quickly. No body or face is visible, and when he opens the car door, it's empty. The mysterious hand wasn't noticed during filming, which only adds to the unsettling nature of the encounter. What could explain this eerie sighting? Was it a ghostly presence, or could it have been a trick of the light or a reflection? The mystery remains unsolved, leaving viewers to wonder what truly happened that night. This chilling footage was captured by security officers at a police station in Carabobo, Venezuela. In recent nights, a mysterious figure had reportedly been seen wandering the station's parking lot. This raised alarms because access is restricted to authorized personnel only. Yet tonight, the mysterious figure seemed to reappear.
Cuando el carro pasa, es que se ve parado ahí.
De repente, marico. Mira, pasa el perro a aquel lado.
Pasó el perro. Mira, ve, mira, ¿viste?
Aparece.
Mira, ve, ¿viste?
No, marico, salió de ahí exactamente. Desde la mitad de aquí
De la mitad, eso, de ahí apareció.
Va pasando el
Mira, ahí está hablando con Vanespino.
Marico, yo escucha cómo me quedo yo ahí, marico, yo me quedo en show. Mira cómo ando yo, No, pero sí se ve como un vestido, Yo hago sombra, marico, Claro, dime tú, todo vestido de blanco está. Oye, mira, se ve como un vestido. Mira, marico, se ve como un vestido. Vestido de blanco está bueno, no recuerdo. Mira cómo le hace la mano, mira. Yo, mira cómo me quedo yo en show, mano, porque no le veo la cara.
The video shows the shadowy figure moving through the lot. What's particularly strange is that when the on-duty guard investigated the area, he saw nothing unusual. This has led many to speculate that something paranormal might have occurred. How else could this phenomenon be explained? On November 22nd, two brave policemen responded to a call about a suspected break-in at an Airbnb property. The owner, who occasionally rented out the house, reported that no guests were present that night. Equipped with body cameras, the officers began their search, unaware of the unsettling events they were about to capture. What started as a routine check soon turned into a chilling encounter, with every eerie moment recorded for all to witness.
What seems to be the problem? I left for a while to go shopping, and when I came home, the door is open. I think somebody broke it.
Does anyone live in the house?
Yes, my husband, myself, and our two kids, but they're out of town right now. They're with his parents.
And how many rooms do you have?
Two upstairs and one downstairs.
All right, we're gonna have to go and search the house. Is it okay if we're going?
Yeah, of course.
You don't have any like pets or dogs or anything?
No.
Just stay here, man.
Police, if anyone's here, make yourself known.
Police. Anyone inside? Police! Anyone inside, make yourself known.
Downstairs clear. Downstairs clear?
Yeah, we're good.
As the officers entered the house, they immediately noticed something odd. All the closets were empty. The video description explained that the homeowner intentionally left them bare to prevent guests from stealing personal items. But could there be more to the story? One detail viewers found curious was that the officers kept the lights off, a standard safety practice that allows them to remain more alert, as seconds can make all the difference in life or death situations. However, as they continued their search, strange things began to happen. Doors appeared to open on their own as one officer ascended the stairs, and the unmistakable sound of footsteps echoed closely behind him. What could be causing these eerie occurrences? Was it the presence of a ghostly entity, or something far more unsettling? The mystery remains unanswered. Around September 28th to 30th, rumors of Gettysburg National Park being haunted spread throughout the town. Locals, intrigued by the eerie tales, decided to set up motion-activated cameras at various spots in the park. The chilling part came on the night of September 30th. Between 2 a.m. and 3 a.m., all the cameras suddenly activated. Upon reviewing the footage, the cameras captured something that was invisible to the human eye, an unsettling presence, leaving viewers questioning what exactly was recorded. And footage from Gettysburg National Park. A strange white light or shadow was seen moving across a field, leaving viewers unsettled. During the eerie footage captured at Gettysburg National Park, a strange white light, possibly a shadow, was seen moving swiftly across the field. It was difficult to identify, adding to the unsettling nature of the recording. The mystery deepened when a local, who had seen the video, realized something even more bizarre was captured on his dashcam while driving through the park. His footage revealed white shadows on the road, appearing to be atop lifeless creatures, further intensifying the eerie atmosphere of the location. The figures captured on camera seemed determined to avoid being recorded, moving at an almost unnatural speed. Gettysburg remains notorious for its paranormal activity, with many too frightened to pass through certain areas, especially after dark. After dawn, both the police and locals investigated, confirming the park's haunted reputation. But the most terrifying case is still yet to be revealed. Late into the night, well past midnight, a deeply unsettling incident unfolded on a desolate road, leaving witnesses shaken and deeply disturbed. Out of nowhere, a figure emerged in the middle of the road, sending shivers down the spines of those who saw it. The eerie event, cloaked in darkness, has sparked widespread speculation, with many questioning whether it was a mere coincidence or something far more sinister. Just a few feet from the approaching car, in the midst of the inky blackness, stood what appeared to be a woman. Her disheveled hair framed a haunting silhouette, and she was noticeably barefoot. The officers on the scene were at a loss, uncertain whether they were dealing with a confused and disoriented individual or something far beyond explanation. What do you think happened that night? An unnerving encounter indeed. On June 13, 2020, nearly 4 years ago, police were called to a public gym in the park. What they didn't expect, however, was that they wouldn't be encountering any humans at all. What strange activities were taking place? Police were called after multiple reports of unsettling events at a haunted park. When they arrived, it was unclear if anyone was behind the bizarre occurrences. Equipment was moving on its own, with no one touching it. The sight was unsettling enough that none of the officers dared to approach. As the equipment continued to move, it became clear that something eerie, an unseen presence, was at work. The atmosphere of the place only added to the creepy feeling. Another unsettling incident occurred in the prison's monitoring room. An officer, observing live surveillance footage, noticed something extraordinary. Behind an inmate in one of the cells, a child seemed to materialize out of nowhere. The officers watching the screen were stunned. A rapid, thorough search of the cell followed, but no trace of the mysterious child was found. These events left the prison staff shaken, questioning whether they had just witnessed something beyond the realm of the ordinary. The eerie occurrences continue to spark debate among those who experienced them. Was it a glimpse into the paranormal, or was there another explanation hidden within the prison's shadows? In a separate incident, the New South Wales Police Department released CCTV footage that left many puzzled. The video, captured by an outdoor camera near their station, shows a garage door mysteriously opening on its own, with no one in sight. Moments later, the mystery deepened as a nearby broom suddenly toppled over. No clear explanation emerged, and the footage quickly sparked debate. Was it a simple coincidence, or could something paranormal have caused these strange occurrences? The unanswered questions continued to intrigue viewers, leaving them to wonder about the true nature of what was caught on camera that night. Security officers patrolling an old mental hospital temporarily used as a filming location captured unsettling footage that sparked intrigue. According to reports, staff had been hearing eerie, unexplained noises throughout the day. However, it wasn't until the security team reviewed the recordings later that they discovered something chilling. The video shows an empty hallway where, suddenly, a translucent figure appears out of nowhere, gliding silently across the corridor. At first, it looks like a blurry, indistinct shape, but upon closer inspection, it resembles a transparent person. The figure moves slowly, crossing the hallway and vanishing through a doorway. Moments later, several crew members enter the scene, unaware of the apparition that had just passed by. Speculation quickly arose. Many believed the figure could be the ghost of a former patient, forever wandering the hospital's halls. If not, what could explain this eerie sighting? The mystery remains unsolved, leaving more questions than answers and adding an unsettling chapter to the building's history. This eerie video was captured by a security officer patrolling an old college building during his first shift at a new location. The building, rumored to be haunted for decades, has a dark history. According to local stories, a student tragically took their own life in one of the dorm rooms years ago, and many claim to have seen the spirit wandering the hallways. In the footage, the officer can be seen and heard walking the quiet corridors, his flashlight cutting through the darkness. Suddenly, a shadowy figure appears and quickly vanishes behind a wall. The officer is visibly stunned, stopping in his tracks, his shock evident. Despite thoroughly searching the area, he never discovered what the figure was. Was it the spirit of the long-departed student, forever roaming the halls? The mystery remains unsolved, but one thing is certain: it was a spine-chilling experience he won't soon forget. In another incident, a security guard patrolling an office building shared footage from the same night. He believed he had captured something peeking out from one of the offices. Alarmed, he contacted his co-workers to report that something felt off.
Alright, can you see this thing?
Yeah, it's still there.
Okay. What's happening with the lights? Because I'm looking
the lights are...
hallway, and I can't see, I literally see nothing.
The lights are off right now. Oh, it just moved. It just moved.
No, it did not.
It just moved. It just moved.
I just heard a weird noise. Please don't tell me that as you said that.
Dude, it just moved.
A shadow appears on the fourth-floor window. The figure is visible for a brief moment before it suddenly disappears, vanishing into thin air. The way it fades away without a trace makes it difficult to believe it could have been a human intruder at least. That's how the guard saw it. The bizarre nature of the event leaves little room for rational explanation, fueling speculation about the possibility of a ghostly presence. Was it a restless spirit visiting the station, or is there another explanation for what the guard witnessed? The mystery remains, prompting viewers to decide for themselves what might have been lurking that night. On December 17, 2014, while everyone was peacefully asleep, a chilling incident unfolded at the mortuary. CCTV footage captured what appeared to be a ghostly figure emerging from the building. The security guard, unsure whether it was a human or something else, submitted the footage to the police. However, what the officers saw left them shaken. The video showed a black shadow moving at an impossible speed, far faster than any human could run. Initially, the figure appeared human, standing at the end of the hallway, but as it crossed the corridor, it became clear that this was no ordinary person, it was something otherworldly. The footage, though unsettling, was the only proof of the paranormal activity, leaving everyone to wonder what was that shadow. This eerie story comes from a night security guard who occasionally brought his son along during early evening shifts. He worked at a storage facility known for strange occurrences, particularly in the basement, which many believed to be haunted. According to him, one of the units housed an unsettling object, a doll he suspected was cursed. In the video, he shows close-ups of the doll, explaining its significance.
I will say the place is rather frightening, especially the basement level of this facility. And here's the doll you've all been asking for close-ups of. And I immediately knew this was worth something. I've had a lot of skeptics argue with me, but I do believe it's cursed. And you'll see why in just a moment. And oh yeah, so the workers at the storage place and showed me a video of my unit, saying they heard loud noises inside. They thought it was me, which I surely denied. They wanted proof, so I gave it to them. I've been told it's a poltergeist, which I had no idea what that meant, until I saw a couple of videos online of said phenomena. But just watch the video for yourself. Creepy stuff.
The recording was chilling. The doll appeared to move on its own in a locked, empty unit late at night. The unexplained noises echoed through the space. The guard mentioned that others suspected a poltergeist, a term he hadn't known until he looked it up online. Could something truly be possessing this eerie children's toy? The mysterious activity raises unsettling questions. Perhaps it's time for him to consider getting rid of the doll before the situation escalates further. This chilling footage was captured by a security officer investigating strange occurrences at an old, abandoned soccer stadium. An employee had reported hearing loud, eerie noises coming from the dressing area, prompting the guard to check it out. What he saw next defied explanation.
Me crea la gente porque esto nunca me pasó y nada, lo quería grabar, no sé yo. Podrido, la concha de la lora. Tengo mi linterna para que viera la calle. Dios. Puta que te parió. La puta que te parió. Concha de la lora. La concha de la lora. Pero ¿cómo mierda puede ser que no haya nada hoy? Ya es la tercera vez. Tercera vez que entro y no hay nada.
As the guard moved through the dimly lit corridors, everything seemed normal at first. However, what he didn't realize was that a shadowy figure appeared to be following him. It moved silently in the background, unnoticed by the officer at the time. The eerie presence adds a sinister layer to the already unsettling situation. Many believe that this shadow being could be the source of the strange noises heard throughout the stadium. Could it be a restless spirit haunting the grounds? The mystery remains, leaving viewers to decide if such a haunting is truly plausible. This chilling CCTV footage was shared by a security guard known as Jay Breezy, who documented the eerie event on his channel. In the video, he recounts seeing a ghostly figure approaching him, an encounter the camera appears to have captured as well.
Look at I saw that. I saw that. See, I saw that. And I'm like, and then it disappeared over there by the desk. And I'm like, okay. So I looked at the camera. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna calm down. So I wanted to tell the camera, y'all see that? Y'all saw that, right? I'm telling CHA, did y'all see that?
The mysterious figure vanishes as suddenly as it appeared, leaving the lobby empty and the guard shaken. Jay Breezy firmly believes it was a ghost roaming the area. If not, what other explanation could there be for this eerie sighting? This eerie recording comes from a night security guard working his 12th shift at a large, abandoned warehouse. Since starting the job, he had noticed an increasing number of unsettling events, but this incident stands out.
Meant it once.
Ah! Ow.
In the footage, the guard is visibly startled when something seems to be thrown in his direction. "Yo, what the hell?" he exclaims, scanning the area for an explanation. Moments later, the power cuts out, plunging the entire building into darkness. The silence is broken only by the guard's hurried breathing and the faint sound of footsteps or something more sinister echoing in the distance. He later reported hearing and seeing something terrifying, though the details remain unclear. Shaken by the encounter, he ended his shift abruptly and went straight home. Was something malevolent lurking in the warehouse that night? Some believe a demonic presence may have been at play, but the true nature of the events remains a haunting mystery. This unsettling footage was reportedly captured by a patrolling officer near an eerie, abandoned house.
422. This place definitely gives out some creepy vibes.
In the video, the officer whispers, "This place definitely gives off creepy vibes. I keep seeing shadows walking by." Suddenly a shadowy figure appears, moving quickly past one of the windows. Could this be clever editing? Or are we witnessing a shadow person in action? To add to the mystery, faint, eerie laughter can be heard in the background. Its origin and meaning remain unknown, leaving viewers to ponder what might truly be haunting this house. This chilling footage was captured by a security officer who claimed he was talking to someone at the time. However, in the video no one else is visible. Moments later, a mysterious presence seems to manifest, leaving viewers to wonder, was it a ghostly encounter or something else entirely?
Who is he talking to?
Dispatch to 329.
329, go ahead.
Yes, sir. Who are you talking to?
I'm talking to a elderly lady. I saw her walking by the store and she said she's looking for Mr. Griffin. Her name is Miss Abigail.
Did you say Miss Abigail?
Yes, ma'am. She says she wants to see Mr. Griffin, and I told her that the canvas is closed, that she should come tomorrow morning, and she might see Mr. Griffin.
Are you sure you're saying Miss Abigail? Like, she's been passed on for 2 years now.
Come again with that, please?
Miss Abigail is, she died 2 years ago.
You mean you can't see the person I'm talking to?
No, there's nobody in front of you at all.
It appears the security officer may have been speaking to a spirit that night. He claims to have seen a woman, possibly a lost soul searching for someone to deliver a final message. This incident adds to the many mysterious encounters reported at the station over the years, deepening its eerie reputation. Captured by a CCTV camera outside a hospital, this footage shows the automatic doors malfunctioning, a common issue according to the security guard. However, today was different. Upon a second glance, he noticed something strange reflecting in the glass of the door.
At glance, he saw something weird reflecting in the glass of the door.
What exactly caused this eerie reflection remains unknown. Some speculate it was a ghost, while others think it might have been a passerby, though most find that unlikely. If the reflection is tied to the malfunctioning doors, could it point to something even more mysterious? The unanswered question lingers. This widely recognized video is often referred to as the ghost car. It shows a mysterious driver attempting to evade the police, only to disappear without a trace.
Watch. The fence at the end means no way out, or does it?
In this eerie footage, a driver deceives the police into thinking he's about to stop, but chaos quickly ensues. The officers catch a fleeting glimpse of the driver, and then, without warning, both the car and driver appear to vanish. The car seemingly passes through a wire fence without a trace, eluding the police. Some believe the car found an unnoticed gap in the fence, suggesting the whole incident could be a hoax, though this theory has never been confirmed. The mystery remains unsolved, adding to the legend of this bizarre dashcam recording. What started as a typical traffic stop quickly turned into a terrifying experience, one that would become one of the most unsettling moments a police officer has ever faced. The entire encounter, recorded on the officer's bodycam, sent shockwaves through the department and is now considered one of the most mysterious videos ever captured. At first, everything appeared normal. The officer asked for the driver's license and registration, following the usual protocol. However, as the officer went back to the patrol car to process the information, something bizarre happened.
What the? Can I see your driver's license registration, please?
Yeah.
It's not a big deal.
Here's my license, but this is my mom's car, so
Where are you headed to where you're speeding and missing stop signs?
I was just headed to a friend's house. It's like literally right there. It's a birthday party. So,
Got it.
Not mine, but...
Any drugs or alcohol in the vehicle?
No, of course not.
All right. Sit tight, Sarah. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Your registration is What the?
Sarah?
What the heck? Sarah? 32.
Sarah, the driver, disappeared without a single clue. The dashcam footage shows no sign of anyone else being involved in her vanishing. The scene was as chilling as it sounds. Sarah just ceased to be. Was this a terror in reality itself? Despite an extensive investigation, the police couldn't find any trace of her or identify her true identity. Did she somehow slip into another realm, or was she hidden somewhere in the car, eluding detection? The mystery remains unsolved, with questions that still echo but no answers in sight. During a police operation in Brazil, officers bravely approached an abandoned building, but what they encountered was truly unsettling.
Caralho, bicho, que é isso, mano? Cuidado, Judá. Cuidado, mano, que é isso, mano? Mano, não tem nada. Caralho, mano, que é isso, bicho? Caralho, mano. Mano, que é isso, bicho? Caralho, mano, bora, mano. É doido, Deus me livre, mano. Vai, mano, vai, mano. Vai, mano, vai, mano. Vai, mano.
As the officers got closer to the abandoned building, they were shocked to witness something they couldn't easily explain: a door opening and closing on its own, as if an invisible force was repeatedly slamming it shut. The strange part? There was no wind at all at the time, which made the whole situation even more eerie and impossible to rationalize. The officers stood frozen for a moment, unsure of what they were witnessing. As a result, countless strange and unexplainable moments are likely never shared, leaving us to wonder just how many eerie occurrences have gone unnoticed or unspoken about, tucked away for fear of the stigma that surrounds beliefs in ghosts and poltergeists.
Saw something that freaked them out, and they captured it on camera.
It's an image that some people say appears to be a ghost walking around the police station. Nancy Laughlin has the video and talked to the men who shot it.
It began as a fairly usual Saturday night. Espanola police officer Carl Romero was on duty, monitoring the surveillance cameras around the station, when he noticed something in the Sally Port.
At first, that was like a polilla, like a fly, a moth, and then I saw the legs and it was a human.
But not a real human.
No, it was just a ghost.
Romero reported it and notified his supervisors. Detectives showed us the camera that captured the image. They said there is no way in or out of the secured area without the gate being open and the alarm sounding.
You walk through, it walks in the direction of the old transport cages, and there's not really any way for it to get out through there, but it seems to walk right through that.
Detectives say there's no explanation, no lighting issue or glitch. Turns out there are many ghost stories here.
A lot of our officers have seen certain things. Some of our officers have felt what appears to be somebody breathing down their neck as they're working on reports in the briefing room.
Officers at the station also report hearing strange noises at night and seeing unexplained images in the lobby.
Espanola police tell us, as far as they know, this is not an ancient burial ground, and they say the police station has been here since 2006, but no inmates have died here.
But they do say there have been some unsolved murders nearby.
Do you believe in ghosts?
I do, actually. I do believe in ghosts.
Do you think that was a ghost?
I do. I do believe it was something. It's hard to say, but yeah, I do believe it was a ghost.
The officers say they're not scared, but the image definitely haunts those who work here. I don't know about you, but this police force seems solid to me. They don't seem like the type to waste time talking to the news about something that might have just triggered their alarms. I believe something really is visiting them. What do you think? During the night shift, several officers witnessed this together, even on the footage. Could it be genuine or faked? And why would a police station go through the trouble of staging a ghost appearance? What are your thoughts? Is it real or fake? body cam captures footage of a K9 unit thoroughly investigating a house following a recent murder incident. As they search the premises, strange and unsettling voices are heard, echoing through the empty rooms, adding an eerie atmosphere to the scene. What's even more mysterious is the reported presence of an unidentified woman who seems to appear and disappear without explanation. An inquiry into the home where the Watts family was murdered.
I can...
Yes.
Hi. It's me. I miss your face. I was just calling to say hi.
Yes. Yes.
The Watts family murder case. Christopher Lee Watts murdered his pregnant wife Shannon and their two daughters, Bella and Celeste, in Frederick, Colorado on August 13th, 2018. Christopher strangled Shannon, who was 3 months pregnant, and then drove to a remote oil site with their daughters. Is it possible that this girl we see on the steps here is one of the daughters of this family?
On December 31st, 2022, 3 police officers were dispatched to a house in a small town in Greater Poland after a neighbor called in, reporting strange and unsettling noises coming from inside. The neighbor described the sounds as deep, guttural growls and high-pitched screeches, unlike anything they had ever heard before. Upon their arrival, the officers were immediately disturbed by what they found. A paramedic was quickly summoned to the scene, and he captured the eerie events on video as they unfolded. The officers, unprepared for the situation at hand, requested immediate medical assistance. They had no idea that the house they were entering once belonged to a notorious cannibal family. This family had been infamous for years, known for butchering human flesh and creating meals made from human remains. Although the cannibal family had passed away, the house remained in a deteriorated state, serving as a chilling reminder of its horrific past. On that New Year's Eve, a 20-year-old woman named Kamilka had been inside the house with a few friends, using a Ouija board in an attempt to contact the spirits of the cannibal family and their victims. What began as a simple game quickly escalated into something much darker. Kamilka suddenly started acting in an erratic and feral manner, startling her friends. In a panic, she locked herself inside one of the rooms. Her friends believed she had become possessed by some dark force. When the police arrived, they were faced with a scene unlike anything they had ever encountered. The officers were visibly shaken by what they witnessed, and the unsettling footage captured that night showed just how terrifying the situation had become.
Jezu, jak to ona tak warczy? pierdzielę. No, totalnie. Pierdolę, ja dostaję tylko 5000 zł, kurwa. Idź pan do... Uważaj. Kamila! Ona jest nad nami u góry, od góry coś widzi. Nie? Drut ma jakiś.
Frightened by Camilla's bizarre behavior, the police were unable to enter the room to rescue her. In a last-ditch effort, they decided to place a ladder against the outside of the building near where she was hiding. However, this plan quickly went awry.
Tu jesteś. Chodź, misiu. Nie patrz jak świnia, kurwa. Chodź. Chodź tu, kurwo. Chodź tu, Kamilka. Kamilka, tu też cię widzę. No nie czołgaj się. Kamilka. Kamilka, dziecko cię woła. Kamilka. Wiktoria cię woła. No nie czołgaj się. Kamilka. Kamilka, dziecko cię woła. Kamilka. Wiktoria cię woła.
The officers attempted to coax Kamilka out of the room, but their efforts proved futile as she remained inside. Unfortunately, the video ends abruptly, leaving little else to be seen. However, according to the paramedic who filmed the footage, Kamilka was eventually taken to the hospital. Strangely, once there, she began to act normally again. After a thorough examination by a psychiatrist, it was determined that Kamilka showed no signs of any mental health disorders. Tests on her blood revealed no traces of any drugs or intoxicating substances that could have explained her bizarre behavior. To this day, neither her family nor her friends have been able to explain what occurred in that house. The only thing her family is certain of is that they never want to see their daughter in such a state again. Whether Kamilka was truly possessed or experiencing a temporary psychotic episode remains an unanswered question.
The runaway carves across the carriageway and calls it a day. You're nicked. Or you should be. There's no one outside, no one behind the wheel, and the van is locked.
Where's it gone?
It's magic.
It's in the back. Could be in the back. You stopped to think he's hiding in the back. There's no one in the driver or passenger seat, and no one's deep.
This footage looks like something from a police show, possibly from Britain or Australia. The officers pull over the car, and it seems like the person inside didn't have time to escape. But then, out of nowhere, they vanish. What do you think happened here? Do you believe this is real or staged? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. It's police footage, so there must be some truth to it, but it's still hard to explain. Let's hear your take on whether this is legitimate or not.
It is police footage.
The following clip shows a patrol officer who noticed unusual movements near the side of a house and decided to check it out.
This place definitely gives out some creepy vibes. I keep seeing shadows walking by. What the f***?
John, do you copy? It's room 209. Amy says nobody's checked into that room, and there's reports of screaming coming from that room. Amy, he's on his way down there right now. What's going on, John? There's no one checked into that room. There should be nobody in there. Wait 1 second, John. Amy, are you there? Yeah, John says he hears the screaming coming from that room. And I hear it too. But we're sure that no one's checked into that room. Correct? John, just wait. We're going to get a hold of the police. So, I would wait for the police, John. Amy, John's going to enter the room real quick just to check, make sure, see what's going on. Wait one. John? John, are you there? Okay, Amy, John wants you to call the police right now if you don't mind. He says no one's in there, but that all of the furniture's been turned upside down and the hold on. He says the carpet's been ripped up and that the shower is on, but nobody's in there. There's reports of screaming coming from that room. Amy, he's on his way down there right now. What's going on, John? There's no one checked into that room. There should be nobody in there.
You might be wondering why we don't see more police body cam footage capturing paranormal events. The truth is, police officers often keep quiet about such encounters. I believe the main reason for this is the fear of losing credibility among their colleagues. Admitting to having experienced something supernatural in a professional setting would likely be dismissed as mere imagination. So, when something strange or eerie occurs, officers are likely to keep it to themselves rather than report it, fearing judgment or ridicule. In the dead of night, long after midnight, an eerie event took place on a desolate road, leaving those who witnessed it shaken and disturbed. Out of nowhere, a figure appeared in the middle of the road, sending a wave of fear through everyone who saw it. This mysterious occurrence, shrouded in darkness, has since fueled a lot of speculation and intrigue. Just a few feet away from the car, in the pitch-black night, stood what seemed to be a woman. Her messy hair formed a ghostly outline, and she was clearly barefoot. The officers who arrived at the scene were uncertain, unsure whether they were encountering a confused person or something far more mysterious. What do you think was going on? Next, we have an incredibly strange video taken by a cyclist late one night. After finishing his shift, he was getting ready to leave a parking garage located in a quiet, secluded area. A woman was casually strolling through the garage, moving through the dark space as if it were an ordinary night. This strange encounter left him wondering if he had just witnessed something paranormal, or if there was another, more unexplainable force at play. In South America, the parking garage is off limits to the public, reserved only for employees. The young cyclist, after finishing his shift, reported hearing eerie noises coming from the same level of the garage. As he was adjusting his light, he noticed what appeared to be the figure of a woman in the distance. He's now convinced that what he encountered could have been a spirit or something equally unexplainable. This footage was recorded by an officer on a night patrol of an office building. He and his team had encountered numerous unsettling events in the hallways over time, and whenever something unusual happened, they made sure to document it. Tonight it was no different. The officer explains that he first heard voices coming from the direction of the elevator, and the strange sounds immediately caught his attention. The officer couldn't find any sign of whatever was making the strange noises behind the elevator wall. However, upon a closer look, something peculiar becomes apparent. A dark, cloth-like object or shadow appears to be waving in his direction. He's convinced this is something supernatural, and if no one was playing a prank on him, he might just be right. Late one night at Close Mall, an officer monitoring the security cameras began to hear the faint sound of a girl crying coming from the food court area. Alarmed, he immediately called over one of the patrolling officers to investigate the source of the noise. When the officer arrived and looked around the dining area, he was startled to find a young girl standing alone. Oddly, the girl seemed to be visible only to him. She didn't appear frightened, but when he asked her what she was doing there so late at night, she calmly responded that she was looking for her mother. The officer conversed with the girl for a brief time before leaving to file his report. He seemed noticeably unsettled, particularly when his colleagues informed him that no one had been in the area with him. It was certainly an eerie situation. The following footage was uploaded to the official channel of Puya Nayal Idor, and it originates from a CCTV camera placed in the parking garage of a local police station. The video begins with a security guard parking his car, locking it, and then leaving the garage to begin his shift. However, what happens next is far from ordinary. A strong, unseen force appears to move the car forward, despite the keys not being in the ignition. This is, of course, a highly unusual and difficult occurrence. Several officers have shared stories of eerie experiences they've had while working alone in the area. Could this be evidence of something supernatural at play? Two officers in Argentina were on duty, reviewing security camera footage after a terrifying event unfolded the night before. They hoped that one of the cameras might have captured something related to the incident. Initially, it seemed like they wouldn't find anything of note, but as they continued searching, they finally came across something truly unsettling. What they discovered on the footage was a disturbing and eerie sight that left both officers feeling deeply unnerved.
Se ve mejor. Okay. Ajá. Se fue. Para que si veamos cuando sigamos, para que vean de que no, si alguien puede ver que se va, no se va, y ahí no entramos a buscar. Ahí se ve como una calavera. Aparece, ajá, y desapareció, desapareció. Ahí se aparece como una calavera.
The footage shows a person who appears to be smoking something, but the flames are unusually large, making the entire situation feel off. What's even more strange is that the woman suddenly vanishes into thin air, never to be seen again. Many viewers in the comments pointed out that the smoke left behind seemed to form the shape of a skull, adding to the eeriness of the scene. While it's unclear exactly what happened, the officers were left feeling deeply disturbed by the encounter. The following video was reportedly captured by the dash cam of a police cruiser during a routine patrol. Officer Ben Malik, who was on duty that night, didn't expect to encounter anything unusual. However, things took a strange turn after he had been driving for a while. He spotted a person on the side of the road, seemingly starting a fire. This raised enough concern for the officer to pull over and investigate further. According to Officer Malik's report, the woman appeared to have a face engulfed in flames, something he couldn't explain at all. This case, like many others, leaves people without any clear answers. The officer speculates that the woman may have been involved in some sort of ritual. He also mentioned that he arrested her shortly after the encounter. What exactly the dash cam recorded remains unclear, and it's up to speculation. What do you think was happening in this strange situation? This next recording comes from an officer who was patrolling a wing of an old, supposedly abandoned airport. He wasn't the first to report strange occurrences in the area, particularly around the restrooms, which had a reputation for unusual sounds. That night, the officer decided to document these eerie events as they unfolded.
En este pasillo hay un baño. En este pasillo hay un baño. Hay un baño de mujeres. En este pasillo hay un baño de mujeres. A esta hora hay un fantasma juguetón que juega con las llaves de lavamanos. Ahí está. Este es el baño. Ese es el baño. Y como ustedes se pueden dar cuenta, están las luces apagadas. Ay, qué miedo. No hay nadie. No hay nadie, no hay nadie, no hay un alma aquí abajo. No tiene por qué haberla. Y en este baño menos. Sin embargo, allí está el fantasma jugando con la llave del agua. Es obviamente una mujer, bueno, a menos que sea. Me voy a acercar poco a poco. Esto está oscuro, man. Se prenden las luces por mi presencia. ¿Sí ven? Se paró. Se quedó quieto. Dale pues. Sigue jugando. ¿Por qué te para? Mira. Hola. Hola, hola. ¿Estás acá? ¿Dónde estás? Se prenden las luces. ¿Estás jugando con la llave? ¿Ah? ¿Estás jugando con la llave? ¿Ah? Necesito otra prueba. Necesito otra prueba. ¡Ay, marica!
It seems that the spirit in question is quite clever, even interacting with the guard and disproving his assumptions. Perhaps there's a deeper reason for its presence. Some believe it desires attention. Whatever the case may be, it certainly leaves an unsettling impression. This footage was recorded by an officer heading back into town, nearing the end of their shift. As they approached the intersection, something strange appeared in the road, an almost transparent figure crossing right in front of them. Some speculate it could be the spirit of a person who died at that spot, while others wonder if it was just a peculiar reflection or an optical illusion. Whatever it was, the officer couldn't shake the unsettling feeling it left behind. A man was working late in his office when the CCTV captured something truly terrifying. After taking a brief nap at his desk, he woke up to find strange, paranormal events unfolding around him. It started subtly. A black shadow floated above his head, though he didn't notice it at first. Things quickly escalated. Across the room, a red chair began to spin on its own. He watched it, assuming it was just a mechanical issue, but he would soon regret not leaving the office right then and there. Suddenly, the pens and papers on his desk fell to the floor, and an eerie coldness filled the room. The air felt heavy, almost oppressive. Unsure if he was imagining things, he stood up only for a nearby black chair to crash to the ground with a loud bang. The office was empty, but the fear was palpable. It became clear that something supernatural was toying with him. Overwhelmed by terror, he bolted from the office, convinced that a dark, ghostly presence was haunting the space. Some things are so unsettling that they stay with you long after you've seen them, haunting your thoughts and lingering on the back of your eyelids as you try to sleep. This chilling encounter will make you think twice before stepping into the forest at night. Ready to Film Direction wrote, "Oh man, Shills is going to cover this in his next video. And they weren't wrong." The video posted by Rabbit14000 was filmed in India, showing an eerie encounter with a so-called forest guard. The footage shows a vehicle driving down a dirt road in the forest. At night, light drizzle falls and the windshield wipers keep the view clear. Suddenly, a figure appears in the middle of the road, dressed in flowing white robes. Its head is covered and its face is hidden in shadow as the vehicle backs up slowly. The figure moves strangely off the road and into the dark trees. With each passing second, the figure seems to disappear into the night as the car retreats in fear. Ed Vixen Ross suggests that the figure might be a holy man or woman, as the robes resemble those worn by the Sure I Saw to Die. But others question the timing of the figure's appearance. It's too late for a holy person to be wandering through the woods at night. Is this figure truly human, or is it something far darker lurking in the forest? The mystery remains unsolved, leaving viewers to question what exactly they're seeing. You might want to steer clear of this forest, as it seems to be home to brain-hungry zombies. Published by ADN in October 2021. The footage shows a man wandering deep within the dense woods at night, clearly lost as he stumbles through the thick foliage. A chilling noise echoes through the trees, sending a wave of dread through him. When he calls out into the darkness, hoping for some sign of what awaits him.
Hello? Nang? Oi! Sorry!
Then things take a terrifying turn.
Peter. Hey!
Out of the corner of his eye, he spots something lying motionless on the ground. It slowly begins to crawl toward him, its movements unnatural and predatory. Panic sets in as he turns and bolts through the forest, desperate to escape. He looks around, trembling in the darkness, his breath shallow and panicked. But there's nothing in sight. Did the zombie lose interest, or is he unknowingly walking into an ambush with danger lurking just out of view? Gary and Amika, a father-daughter duo from Scotland, are known for their wholesome and entertaining videos documenting their travels across Europe in a camper van. Their adventures often capture the beauty of nature and their close bond. But one particular video took an unsettling turn, uploaded in March 2023. The video recounts their trip to Ten Small Forest in North Fife, Scotland, while exploring the dense woods. Amika told her dad that she could hear strange voices nearby. Intrigued, but cautious, they decided to investigate.
We just stopped and had a look in these woods. Look at how scary that is. Put the torch on. Here's even one on the ladders.
Oh, there's someone lying on the ground.
Falling over. Look at the one on the ladders, going up the tree.
Oh, yeah, that's creepy.
What about the washing line over there to the left? Yeah, there. Keep it there. That is weird, isn't it?
There's one over there that isn't actually a person. There's a doggy there.
Deep in the woods, they found dozens of lifelike mannequins eerily dressed in various costumes. Arranged in unsettling poses alongside the mannequins were creepy paintings hung outside a small, dilapidated cabin hidden among the trees. The sight was bizarre and deeply unnerving. Upon researching, they found that other channels had also featured the strange cabin, with speculation suggesting the mannequins and paintings were set up sometime in 2021. The purpose of this eerie setup remains a mystery, but it was clear that whoever created it had gone to great lengths to make it as unnerving as possible. As Gary and Mika tried to leave the forest, they noticed a car approaching from the other side of the trail, heightening their fear. Fortunately, they managed to avoid crossing paths with the vehicle and made it back to their camper van safely. In a remote village in India, a farmer claims to have captured unsettling footage of a mysterious creature lurking near the woods. The incident began deep in when he heard strange, eerie noises coming from the forest late one evening. Unable to ignore his curiosity, he ventured cautiously to the forest's edge, expecting to find the source of the disturbance. As he approached the usual forest, sounds of rustling leaves and nocturnal animals faded, replaced only by the steady chirping of crickets. But this eerie quiet wasn't because he was alone. The creature, which he managed to catch on his cell phone camera, remains unidentified. Some believe it could be a Wendigo, a skinwalker, or perhaps a completely unknown species if this isn't an elaborate hoax or CGI trickery. The implications are terrifying. Watching the footage, it's clear the creature had the advantage of surprise and could have attacked at any moment, possibly leaping from the treetops if the farmer hadn't noticed it in time. Alicia, the explorer, decides to rent a remote cabin nestled deep in the woods, unaware that it harbors an unexpected occupant.
This place is so cool, isn't it? What the somebody in there?
Place is so close, you know that somebody in there with, a shadowy figure moves past a ghostly shape in the window behind her, or maybe a hunched figure cloaked in tattered robes. Let's hope this is just clever CGI. If it's not, she might want to make a quick escape through that window.
I'm so startled right now. I think I may have stumbled across.
While venturing alone into the woods, YouTuber Christina Roberts stumbled upon something she never expected to see: strange creatures that left her both fascinated and unnerved. The creatures, covered in thick fur and walking upright, moved with an uncanny ounce of purpose, spreading out as if searching for something at the 30-second mark of her footage. One of them briefly turns, revealing a broad, hairy back. Even more striking, it appears to have an offspring clinging tightly to it, adding an eerie layer of realism to the sighting. Christina, dressed in camouflage and whispering quietly to herself, managed to stay hidden as she captured the encounter on camera. The creatures seemed unaware of her presence, eventually settling down in a small clearing. Recognizing her chance, Christina carefully made her escape without drawing their attention. While some viewers, including myself, suspect it might just be an elaborate hoax involving people in gorilla suits. What's your take? Could this really be something extraordinary or just a clever prank? In a mysterious video, a user named khorn1234 captures what could be paranormal lights in the woods at night and seeks help to explain them. The footage begins with a single tiny red light at 2 minutes and 28 seconds. But soon the entire forest is illuminated by strange flashing lights hovering in mid-air. Turning his camera across a nearby field, he spots more of these lights, which seem to appear and vanish without any clear explanation. According to khorn1234, it's not from houses or towers, and I agree that random floating nature rules that out. It resembles Christmas lights. But this was filmed in July, so if not holiday decorations, what could these eerie lights possibly be? Holly's Lore, a YouTube channel known for investigating creepy abandoned places, takes on the legend of Big Lizzie in one of its spookiest episodes. Yet the haunted forest in Maryland swamps, where a headless apparition is set to roam, becomes the team's focus. According to local lore, Big Liz appears on a specific bridge, a site tied to countless ghost sightings before attempting to summon Big Liz. Holly and her team explore the bridge. The eerie silence is broken by unsettling sounds, including what might be ghostly moans echoing through the swamp. While unnerved, they remain determined to gather evidence of the supernatural.
What in the is that? Did you hear it again? That sounds like something dying.
The team then prepares for the ritual set to summon Big Liz, flashing car lights 3 times and honking twice as they perform the steps. Holly urges viewers to pay close attention.
Flash them 3 times, honk twice, right?
Yep.
What was that?
What are you talking about? Wait, what?
At exactly 1 hour, 4 minutes and 17 seconds, a shadowy mist moves across the bridge. The team captures it clearly on camera, ruling out fog or light interference. Everyone sees the anomaly except for one investigator whose view is blocked as they sit in the car. The most chilling moment comes when Holly scans the woods with a high-powered flashlight. A ghostly figure appears briefly in the beam, leaving the team stunned.
I thought it was closer. It was closer, but now I'm hearing it way over there.
With these eerie encounters, this investigation offers compelling evidence that Big Liz's legend may be more than just a story. While exploring a creepy, abandoned house deep in the woods, YouTuber Adventures with Josh stumbles upon what he later describes as a strange and unsettling creature. The journey begins innocently enough as he navigates through the dense forest at night, eventually coming across a small, dilapidated structure no bigger than a doghouse. Upon inspection, it appears empty, but the real terror begins when he turns around.
What is it? That thing is freaky. Hello?
Perched above him, a mysterious figure with glowing white eyes stares down, an eerie silence. It's not someone wearing night vision goggles. The glowing eyes blink multiple times, confirming it's a living creature.
I can't even tell what animal that is. It doesn't look like a possum.
Josh believes the strange being was simply waiting for him to leave so it could return to its eerie, abandoned shelter in peace, while its identity remains a mystery. One thing is clear: this encounter left Josh and likely his viewers with an unforgettable chill. What do you think this creature could be? A trail cam photo shows a girl who could be the ghost of a child explaining why she's so close to the deer without scaring them. One deer stares at her while she looks at the deer closest to the camera. Her arm is raised to her face as if confused or frightened, not fully understanding where she is or what she's seeing. Perhaps she just appeared moments ago. In a second photo, the girl steps forward and both she and the deer gaze upward at something unseen. One of the deer appears to nudge her, still focused on her with curiosity or concern. However, the girl's expression is unsettling. She looks exhausted, as if too tired to feel fear anymore. If this isn't a ghost, it could be a photoshopped image, as no wild animal would allow a human to approach this closely without fear. Whether paranormal altered the photo leaves us with many questions and no clear answers. What do you think is really going on here? A video from an undisclosed neighborhood in East Texas captures eerie sounds coming from the woods at night. The unsettling noises seem to be the howls of wolves possibly marking their territory in the darkness, stared down by the away.
Stay here. Down by the light.
If those were wolves, then what is causing the next terrifying sound? More importantly, why is it heading straight toward him? People in the comments are suggesting that the sound might be from a half-wolf, half-human creature, which is a chilling thought. The uploader, who has lived in the area for years, admits that the strange voice in the woods was unlike anything he'd ever heard before, and it sent him running back inside. Honestly, he probably should have never gone outside in the first place. According to one comment, these eerie, unexplained noises have been reported in East Texas for years. Yet there's still no clear explanation. If you live in the area or have experienced similar sounds, let me know what you think they could be. With a name like Forest of the Black Cross, it's no surprise that this place has become infamous for its dark and eerie reputation. In July 2021, a crew of YouTubers decided to explore the haunted woods at night, unaware that their investigation would lead them to a terrifying encounter. As they delve deeper into the forest, something strange seems to be disturbing the peaceful darkness, drawing their attention to a figure lurking among the thick brush. The chilling footage captures the face of a wild beast with glowing oranges, sharp, menacing features, and a grayish tone. It's unlike anything they've ever seen. Neither an animal nor a human figure, but something far more sinister. The crew, terrified, tries to make their escape. But as a deep rumbling growl reverberates through the trees, they run as fast as they can. In the distance, the unmistakable sound of howling fills the air, sending shivers down their spines. While that indicate, the burning question remains, did they manage to outrun the creature? Or did the wolves of the forest simply find a more tempting target elsewhere? In August 2013, Crypto Girl 13 embarked on a chilling mission to explore an old haunted railway tunnel, notorious for its eerie reputation. With a friend by his side, they made their way through a dense, folk-covered forest, the ground slippery and treacherous with thick mud. Every step seemed more difficult as they waded through swampy patches, climbing over fallen branches and thick undergrowth. That journey was slow, but the allure of uncovering the tunnel's hidden secrets kept them moving forward. Finally, after what felt like an endless struggle through the muck, they reached the tunnel's entrance.
Old story that some kind of creature, I think there's some kind of creature that...
As they zoomed into the pitch-black depths, the video started glitching while she narrated the story of a monster rumored to live within the tunnel.
What that?
As they ventured closer to the entrance, they began to hear unsettling noises echoing from inside. But it wasn't until editing the footage that they noticed two glowing red orbs, which they believed to be the eyes of the legendary monster. Were they unknowingly closer to the crypt than they thought? Or could something else be lurking in the tunnel's depths? With almost a decade passed since their investigation, the mystery remains unsolved. Encounters with strangers in abandoned places or the paranormal can be chilling enough. But what happens when you come face to face with a humanoid creature deep in a forest? A strange video published in December 2016 captures just such an encounter. The footage starts off serene, with birds chirping and a peaceful atmosphere resembling a calm nature walk. But then something unsettling appears down the path. A dark figure moves stealthily through the trees. At first, it's difficult to make out what it is, but its hunched shoulders and unnatural movements suggest it's far from ordinary. As the camera zooms in, the creature's form becomes clearer, raising even more questions. Most viewers in the comments rule out Bigfoot, noting the creature's gaits and arm length don't match the typical characteristics of the legendary creature. So, what could this humanoid being be without further footage or a closer look? The true nature of this mysterious figure remains unknown. This is supposedly the last footage of two men who ventured into a remote forest in 2006, uploaded by Lars H. Naito. The video was reportedly found on their camcorder after their tragic disappearance. The men in the footage explained that they were attempting to take a shortcut through the forest on a fun adventure. At first, the footage shows them laughing and singing as they drive down a dark, narrow road. It seems like an ordinary trip full of carefree moments. Things start to take a darker turn when they enter a more wooded area. The road is blocked by a fallen tree, so one of the men gets out to move it. After clearing the obstruction, they continue their journey, but they soon come across another roadblock. This time, the man attempts to move it but struggles as the path appears to be locked. After a brief moment of confusion, the man climbs back into the car and they decide to turn around and head back the way they came. However, they make a strange decision. Instead of staying in the safety of the car, they get out and venture deeper into the forest. As they walk, they begin to hear something unsettling. A low, disturbing sound echoes through the woods, one that seems unnatural, like an animal choking or something far more sinister. Though they are initially scared, the men laugh off the noise, unsure of its origin. But as they move closer, the unsettling sound grows louder and the atmosphere shifts from lighthearted to full-blown terror. Suddenly, one of the men is attacked by something unseen. The remaining man, now panicking, runs back to the car. Sobbing as he tries to reach safety, he's almost there when the creature catches up with him. The video has been widely debated online, with some claiming it's a hoax and others believing it's real, whether authentic or staged. The disturbing footage continues to haunt those who've seen it. The creature that attacked the men remains a mystery. Was it a wild animal, a human, or something far worse? The eerie sounds and the men's final moments make this one of the most chilling pieces of footage ever to surface. In August 2020, a chilling video was published to YouTube by Exploring with Danny, documenting a terrifying adventure into an abandoned railway house deep in the woods. The stormy night sets the perfect atmosphere for terror as Danny and Luke navigate through the forest, drenched by rain and surrounded by darkness. After what seems like an eternity, they finally reach the house, which looks every bit as haunted as they expected. Lightning flashes above, casting ominous shadows across the decaying structure. Inside, the explorers find the house in a state of decay. Windows are boarded up and graffiti covers the walls. Danny explains the grim history of the house. More than 30 people tragically died on the railway line outside during the 1800s. As they climb the stairs, they come across abandoned shoes left on the stairs and are drawn into the rooms upstairs. Wet clothes still hang in the wardrobes untouched by time. Danny dares to provoke any spirits lingering in the house, asking them to make their presence known by banging or closing a door. As they continue down the hallway, they find a locked door. It's framed, damaged as if something had tried to break through. Inside, they discover signs of recent habitation, as if someone had been living there. A wardrobe stands in the corner, and as they investigate further, the wardrobe is violently pushed over, revealing a woman dressed in white with a pale face and dark hair, crouched in the corner. The sudden appearance of this ghostly figure sends Danny and Luke into a panic. They scream and flee the house.
Thanks, pal. Can you hear that thunder? What's that noise? Probably rats.
In September 2015, Brian Schultz ventured into the forest for a camping trip that would soon turn unsettling. What started as a quiet night took a strange turn when Brian noticed odd lights moving from tree to tree, shifting in size and color. At the time, he was streaming live on Periscope, engaging with his viewers. So the video quality isn't the best, but the eerie events are still clear to see. As Brian responds to his viewers' comments, he continues to track the lights with his flashlight. And at one point, a sudden flash of light appears between the trees. The flash is brief, almost like a spark. And when Brian turns off his flashlight, the strange light seems to intensify. Flashing brightly in the distance, the light moves unpredictably, low to high, appearing in different areas of the trees. At first, Brian assumes it might just be another flashlight, but as the light continues to shift erratically, he begins to suspect that it could be something much stranger, perhaps even a UFO. In the comments, many viewers share similar experiences, claiming to have witnessed unexplained lights in the forest. Some even suggest that at the 2-minute 36-second mark of the video, they see something moving behind Brian. The flashes keep coming. darting around the trees in ways that defy logic.
But this light keeps flashing up in the trees, different areas. It's really weird, and I don't know how to describe it because it keeps flashing in different areas of the trees.
As Brian slows down the footage, it becomes even more apparent that something or someone moves just out of view. Aokigahara, also known as the Sea of Trees, is a dense, mysterious forest at the base of Mt. Fuji, Japan, known for its eerie silence. The forest absorbs sound, creating a quiet that unsettles anyone who enters. This unnerving stillness, combined with the forest's dark history, is a site of numerous suicides, has earned it a reputation as a place haunted by restless spirits or yuri. Many avoid this forest, but in July 2017, Brendan Taylor and his crew chose to venture deep into its forbidden heart, a term, and to explore the areas of Aokigahara that most hikers fear. They brought a Kaikura sun, the Japanese version of, and a Ouija board, hoping to make contact with any spirits that might reside there. As they ventured further into the forest, their unease grew. But it wasn't until they began using the board that things took a darker turn. The first question they asked was whether they would find a body that night. The board's response was chilling, for given there were 4 members in the group. This unsettled answer set the tone for the rest of their experience. When they asked if they should even be in the forest, the board ominously answered no. Despite the tension, they continued. As they ventured deeper, they encountered strange signs, most growing on trees believed to be a sign from the afterlife in Japanese folklore, and mysterious scratch marks on a nearby tree shaped like an axe. The atmosphere grew heavy, and when they asked the board if they would meet someone that night, it simply replied yes. When the group decided to leave the forest, they realized they had lost the coin they were using as a pointer for the board. According to the rules of the Kiku reason, the coin must be spent within 24 hours or bad consequences would follow. They retraced their steps in a frantic search. But the coin was nowhere to be found. With no coin to complete the ritual, the group was left feeling deeply unsettled, fearing they might face the consequences of breaking the rules. They posted the video of their chilling experience online, where viewers continued to debate whether it was simply a coincidence or something far darker. The forest and its mysteries left a lasting mark on them, leaving one question unanswered: what truly haunts Aokigahara? 2 men from northern Georgia were out enjoying themselves, celebrating in the forest, when something strange began to happen. They started hearing unsettling screeches echoing from the wilderness around them. But at first they were concerned by the eerie screeches, but they quickly brushed it off as just the sounds of the forest. However, it soon became clear that whatever was making the noises was drawing closer. Then out of the darkness, a figure emerged, seemingly covered in red stains. In a panic, they turned and ran in the opposite direction, which, given the circumstances, was definitely the smart move. While many believed the figure to be some sort of humanoid creature to look well. What do you think of this theory? Could it have been a person, or was it something far more sinister? Do you believe in the paranormal? Ever feel like someone's watching you? The paranormal paranoids are here to guide you through those unsettling moments. Meet Peter, Laura, David, and Riley. The videos are shared on the Just the Paranoid Twitter account, where they take you on eerie journeys through some of the creepiest places in that first video. The crew travels to a secluded, wooded area in Cuyahoga Falls, Ohio. Riley explains that to the locals. This forest is steeped in a sinister tale, a place forever linked to tragedy and hauntings.
To most people, this forest is the same as any, but to the people of Cuyahoga Falls, Ohio, who remember what occurred in 1994, these woods hold a sinister story.
In 1994, a young married couple came across a lifeless body on a public path. It was the body of Mary Talbot, who had tragically taken her own life. Given the location, the implication was clear. Mary wanted to be found. The group stopped near the tree where it had happened, reflecting on the sorrowful event.
This is where it happened. It was almost as if she wanted to be found, wanted to be seen.
They take a few pictures and then leave. But when reviewing the footage later, they noticed some unsettling details they missed during their visit. A disembodied face can be seen appearing among the trees.
I don't think it's there, Peter. Yeah.
As they're about to leave, the camera captures a shadowy figure standing behind a tree, seemingly observing them. However, the most chilling moment comes when they're posing near Mary's tree in the distance. A figure cloaked in dark fabric with something draped over its face can be seen lurking.
Over here.
Okay.
All right, what are we doing? Smile?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you paranoid yet? If not, then take a journey through the Dark County Correctional Facility with the Paranormal Paranoia.
It all happened here, inside of these walls.
Peter notices some peculiar letters scrawled on a window, but before they can investigate further, a sudden noise from the next room catches their attention.
What was that?
They then ascend the narrow staircase, leading them back into the deeper sections of the prison, filled with more cells and dark hallways. As Riley leads the group forward, she suddenly halts. Her expression shifts to one of sheer terror, a face pale as she stands frozen in place.
The inmates that were brought here in the 1930s, they were maximum security.
They continue up a narrow staircase, moving deeper into the prison's maze of cells and dark corridors.
Did you do that?
Wait, did you do that?
I didn't touch anything.
As Riley leads the group further into the building, she abruptly halts, her face straining of color.
What?
It's what Riley explained, that she was suddenly overwhelmed by an intense chill, and you can clearly see her breath in the cold air on the video.
How? You feel what?
Cold. Holy shit. Riley, what? What?
According to the crew, the camera inexplicably shut off, leaving them with several minutes of missing footage. When it finally resumed, they shone their flashlight down a long corridor, revealing just how deep and endless the darkness seemed to stretch.
Look at this.
How far back does that go? That's pretty cool, yeah, sorry. So, get this here.
In one last tour, the Paranormal Paranoids head to Lincoln Elementary, a school with a dark history and haunted halls filled with chilling stories.
So we made it. Lincoln Elementary. This school has an incredible haunted history, dating all the way back to 1976.
Back in 1976, staff arrived one morning to find the school in disarray after calling for the janitor. They received no response when they entered the janitor's closet to retrieve cleaning supplies. They made a horrifying discovery. The janitor had died in a brutal way. Riley shared that every bone in his body had been broken and his mop was forcefully shoved down his throat with only the strings visible. Since then, the school has gone through a revolving door of janitors, none of whom lasted long. As strange occurrences and unexplained happenings haunted the halls. Even rooms that had been cleaned mysteriously ended up messy, and the janitor's closet would often be found locked as though it were hiding something.
Is the legend true? David, what do you think?
I don't know.
The crew enters the school, and for some reason they end up exactly where you'd least want to be, the basement. That's when the unsettling events begin. A loud bang echoes through the area, sending a jolt of fear through them. But they press on, heading into what appears to be the boiler room. There's a strange clanging noise coming from somewhere, adding to the eerie atmosphere. Then another thunderous bang rings out. In that panic that's startled by a soft whistle that cuts through the tension, turning toward the sound, they spot a figure standing in a doorway, a person with a white face and glowing eyes, watching them intentionally. The figure quickly shuts the door, and the crew bolts in the fear, rushing up the stairs. Are the paranormal paranoid something? Whether they attracting the paranormal, their increasing paranoia seems to be justified. Published in June of 2008 by Damian Black, the shadow people of Emerson County takes a chilling look at strange occurrences captured on video causing chaos in the forest. In his words, a significant discovery took place in August of 1997. About 2 miles from where the initial reports began, a video camera was found and turned over to local authorities, and what was seen on the old footage remains terrifying and unexplained to this day. The grainy video shows an eerie scene in the forest. At first, all that's visible of trees and dense underbrush. However, after a moment, the cameraman claims to hear something moving in the distance as the camera zooms in. A faint, translucent form can be seen moving through the trees. It's hard to distinguish whether it's a man, an animal, or something else entirely, but it certainly looks like a shadowy figure. Initially, it appears to be harmless, but then the figure lets out a terrifying scream. The pair of men flee in fear, but it's uncertain whether they managed to escape the forest alive. That haunting scream might have been the last sound they ever heard. Bloody Zach, 12, ventures into a supposedly haunted forest with a friend. They walk for a while without encountering anything unusual until they discover an abandoned opera mask lying on top of a pile of old dirty clothes. Not far away, they find another opera mask hanging in the trees. Intrigued, they decide to take the second mask home for further investigation as they discuss their next steps. Blood. Zach, 12, suddenly notices something hunched over in the distance. A figure dressed in all black looks up from the thicket and briefly chases after them. While it's hard to believe the video is real due to the movie-like sound effects and perfectly timed chase, it's still unsettling. It could have been a maniac lurking in the woods or just a friend playing along for the camera. What do you think? Were they genuinely chased by a mysterious figure? Or is it all just a staged video? Let me know your thoughts. A YouTuber named Hollow Bubble lives deep in the Oregon forest far from the nearest town. One night he hears strange noises outside his house, so he grabs a camera and steps into his backyard to investigate. After searching the area for a while, he spots something that doesn't belong. It looks like it could be a rock, but he knows the area well enough to realize it's out of place. He zooms in for a closer look.
The heck is that?
He then speaks to himself aloud, which catches the attention of something unexpected. A thin humanoid creature twists its impossibly long neck in his direction. If you look closely, you can even spot a surprised expression on its face, as though it's been caught in the act of something secretive. It's unclear whether it's feeding on an animal or burying something in the ground before the camera can reveal more horrible spins around and runs away in fear. While this could be special effects, it's difficult to say for sure. A follow-up video in the daylight might provide more answers. A YouTuber named Sweet Dreams is celebrating the 4th of July by lighting Roman candles when a chilling high-pitched scream cuts through the night.
Did you hear that? It's a farm animal.
He and his friends follow the eerie sound for over a minute, its intensity growing louder and clearer with each step. Eventually, they reach the source of the scream, only to find a gray humanoid creature hunched over, standing just a few feet away.
What is that? Dude, what is that?
Sweet Dreams slowly retreats, but as he backs away, the creature suddenly charges toward him. Panic sets in as he sprints to escape, but when he looks back, the figure swipes at him through the air. It's unclear whether this is a genuine encounter with a strange creature or just a prank by one of his friends in elaborate makeup. Given that the rest of Sweet Dreams' videos are all gaming related, it leaves the question up to you to decide whether this was real or staged. A YouTuber named North by Wild West is spending Christmas with his family when a strange low rumbling noise from the woods suddenly captures everyone's attention.
The tree? Oh my god. Did you see that?
They notice something large, darting behind the garage, prompting everyone to rush outside to investigate. As they look around, they spotted a dark silhouette of a large creature moving through the distance.
No way.
That can't be.
What?
The creature disappears from view for a while, only to reappear along the property line for a moment before vanishing again. This time for good.
Oh my god.
Initially, I doubted the authenticity of the video, thinking it might be staged since there was no clear sign of fear in their voices. However, after reflecting on it, I realized that uncertainty about what was happening felt more natural. It's hard to say what they actually. Could it be a real forest creature, someone in a gorilla suit, or even a neighbor playing a prank? The somewhat indifferent reaction makes me believe they were genuinely unsure of what they encountered. A YouTuber named Gaurav Zone is exploring a famously haunted road in New Delhi, India. They park their car and sit in the darkness, waiting to see what might happen next. At first I thought the video could be staged, but then I noticed something that caught my attention. Therefore, for a brief moment, two yellowish eyes appear, staring directly at them before vanishing. Initially, I considered the possibility that this was just a reflection from the car's brake lights. However, if that were the case, the eyes would have been red, not yellow. Additionally, it's hard to explain what could reflect the light on such an empty, desolate road. The mysterious eyes disappear as quickly as they appeared, and even when the cameraman zooms in for a closer look, nothing is visible. Tiny explores ventures into a dense forest with a Ouija board in hand, aiming to make contact with the paranormal near a haunted cottage. The cottage holds a dark history, the site where a man tragically took the life of his spouse. Almost immediately, their electromagnetic frequency reader begins to spike wildly, confirming to Sini and his friends that they found right spot. They carefully set up the Ouija board and begin their session. Before long, they claim to channel the spirit of a young boy who identifies himself only by the initials SF. They ask the spirit his age and a few other questions. But the boy seems uninterested in small talk. Instead, he spells out an urgent warning, all UN. Alarmed, the group decides to heed the cryptic message quickly, gathering their things and leaving the area without properly ending the ceremony. A critical mistake when using a Ouija board. Realizing the risk of leaving a session open scene, he returns to close it by selecting goodbye. But something feels wrong. He struggles to move the pointer, applying a significant amount of force. Despite his efforts, it barely shifts. As if an unseen presence is resisting him, the camera captures the pointless, sluggish movement with Sini visibly pressing down hard. Some might argue he's creating an illusion by pressing straight down instead of forward. A YouTuber known as Johnny Paranormal decides to explore the infamous Aoki Camera Forest, a place steeped in dark legends and eerie history. Armed with his camera and an amplified microphone, he ventures deep into the dense woods, determined to document every sound and movement. What he captures is nothing short of unsettling. Later, there's a sudden coughing noise, even though Johnny is alone in the forest. Then a quiet whisper of the word help seems to come from nowhere.
How's this?
As the video progresses, the unnerving noises become a recurring presence, seemingly following him as he treks further into the forest for over an hour and a half. The strange growls and chilling sounds accompany him, growing more pronounced at certain moments. The tension builds steadily with each unexplainable noise adding to the eerie atmosphere.
That's saying my battery's going flat.
I sang my battery going flat again. If Johnny Paranormal was truly surrounded by something supernatural, I can only hope whatever followed him doesn't leave the forest. A YouTuber named Encounters26 is fishing alone late at night in the quiet swamps of Bishopville, Maryland, when he spots something unnatural lurking in the forest.
Do you see it where?
As he sits by the water, a massive silent figure emerges from the murky swamp, moving cautiously, as if trying to avoid detection. The creature's movements are swift and deliberate, seemingly intent on escaping the beam of his flashlight without making a sound. Thought, at first, Encounters26 suspects. It might just be a person in a costume, but his doubts fade when the creature turns its back to the camera, sharp and jagged, like something from the prehistoric past, and its arms unnaturally thin and elongated. Don't resemble a human's in the slightest. He's convinced now. This isn't a person in a suit who we should shoot.